I'm Stan Allen. I'm the director of the Center for Architecture, Urbanism, and Infrastructure at Princeton University's School of Architecture, and we're very pleased to be part of this effort to reimagine the City of Rome 2025. We've been gathering material, doing research on the site, and beginning to define the kind of thematics that we think will help organize our work for the particular square we're working on, the center square, which includes the historic center of Rome, but our interest, and I think that the best contribution we can make to the project is not so much to revisit the center, but to work on the periphery of the immediate center and the way in which we'll then stitch together with the adjacent squares. We're attentive to the fact that we don't want to romanticize the kind of gritty history of the periphery, although I think we also have to say that we see opportunities in that more sort of open field of Rome's periphery. I think the second question that we want to take on is how do we position ourselves in relationship to the 1978 Roma Interrotta project that's in some ways the origin of this project. I would say at one level we want to sort of pay our respects to the 1978 project. We also want to define our distance from that project. And first of all, I think any consideration of the city in the 21st century, given the urgent issues of climate change, for example, has to understand that the city is no longer separate from nature. The city is embedded in nature, and urban structures are seamlessly integrated into larger ecological systems. So, second issue, I think, in any large-scale urban assemblage, how do you think about questions of mobility and access? And again, I would say both physical mobility and access, but also social mobility and access. And finally, given that we're working on this project in a school of architecture, we want to think about having a very active role for architecture, really thinking about the agency of architecture at the urban scale and how we can bring some of our proposals down to a detailed architectural scale in order to give it a degree of credibility and realism that it might not have if it simply remains at the level of a diagrammatic